Hey, this is Duck trying to guess, and well, as some of you know, there's been definitely some leaks. The entire game has been leaked. Sun and Moon is out here now. So what I'm gonna do is basically, I don't want to highlight some of the in-game spoilers. I don't want to do that. What I'm gonna focus on right now is the typings and some of the benefits of some of these new typings that they have. Like this game introduced. Let me see. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 new typings. 15 new type combinations, I want to say. This video right here will be focused on some of the type, all the brand new type combinations. I'm going to make a separate video which is going to focus on some of the type combinations that were much more rare before, but now with this new generation, they now have family. They used to be just by themselves, but now they're ohana. I mean, they're ohana. All right, so I'm gonna start off with one of the type combinations that had me like thrown off. I'm gonna tell you most of these new Pokemon's names I don't have down yet. So a lot of times I'm not even gonna say their names. I'm just gonna say their typing and then whatever their base form was before they evolved. Because some of these type combinations came as a final evolution. Um, so I'm not really familiar with a lot of the Final Evolution's names in the new game, and honestly, I don't want to spoil some of them either. So I'm just gonna say, whoever their base forms was, which most of their base forms were revealed. So this first combination is Ice Fighting. This is Crabrawler's evolution's final typing, and basically what this typing brings to the field is, to be completely honest, this is a Dragon Killer. This typing is a Dragon Killer. The reason being, um, well, I mean, it's not the greatest typing when it comes. It comes with 5 weaknesses. You have five times 2 weaknesses. A weakness to fire, a weakness to fighting, a weakness to flying, psychic, steel, and fairy. So the usual, the ice typing always brings trouble with it. Always brings those that fire weakness, which is such a common typing to be weak to. The fighting, I'm not quite sure why it's not neutral to flying, because I swear ice resisted flying, but they decided to do that. It now resists dark, bug, of course, when they're fighting typing, and it resists ice, of course, when they're ice typing. It has a good list of neutrals: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 neutrals across the board. So now this is a pretty okay typing. The one thing I see this typing for, and I mean, just a little nod to the stats. I'm doing another video with the stats and everything, so you'll see that also. But a nod to my other video that I'm putting up with the stats and everything. Crabrawler's final evolution has very low speed, but his attack stat is huge. I don't remember the exact number, but it's huge. And so is his HP stat, and his defense stats are pretty good. I think they're around like base 90. So he's definitely living at least one hit from a dragon type. He resists dragon, so he's living at least one hit from an earthquake. From any of these, actually, he's living a good amount. Unless you're dealing with something with some high base power, he's living at least one hit. And he's going to dish back. And up against a dragon type, he's one-shotting. I did the math on the dragon types in the game. There is no dragon type in this game yet that can survive one hit from this Pokemon. One, he has Iron Fist. He has a new ability called Ice Hammer, which is the equivalent of Wood Hammer, but it does a speed drop like Hammer Arm. So it's better than it's a base 90 accuracy, base 100 damage, and it does way more damage than Ice Punch. So and it's counted as a punching move, so it still gets the Iron Fist boost, I believe. I won't know until the game actually comes out, but I'm pretty sure it does. But if it does, with the stabbed Iron Fist boost, Adamant Nature, Max Attack, it's definitely going to one-shot every dragon in the entire game. There's no dragon to live it. Not even, I think the dragon with the highest defense is Drapion, the one that doesn't have an evolution. He's the highest defense, and he can't survive it. So, this is going to be a pretty beast typing. I'm interested to see what it does. It's definitely going to be a workaround, though, because it has that a good amount of weaknesses right there. I think 5 weaknesses is too many weaknesses, but given a Pokemon, some things can live. I don't think this Pokemon is going to be very. It's definitely not going to make it into OU. Not with this typing. Not making it an OU. The next typing is an electric steel typing. So let's go for that. It's steel electric. It really doesn't matter. This is a generator. It generates the typing counters and everything for me. Okay, so the electric steel typing is actually really good typing. You have 3 weaknesses. The problem here is going to obviously be that ground. So you're going to have to make sure you dodge that. The Pokemon that has this electric steel typing is that Pikachu counterpart for this. I can't remember his name right now. It's like the Dedenne of Generation 7. And basically what's going on is this. He has a behind load. I don't want to curse. A behind load of resistances. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, 11 resistances, 1 immunity, 3 weaknesses, 3 neutrals. So really, you have to hit this thing. I don't remember what its stats are, but this thing really, I believe, with the right spread, depending on its stat distribution, any Pokemon that carries this typing is going to be a problem. It's definitely going to hold up against a wall. It's definitely going to be a very good wall, depending on switch out, give it some U-turn action, and it's going to do work. It's going to definitely do work. I love the steel typing. It brings so many resistances. The electric typing brings so many resistances. These 2 typings together are a serious problem. Now, I mean, the weakness is a problem, but it's a serious problem. Look at the amount of resistances. I just can't. I can't. The next typing that is brand new to the game is bug fairy typing. Now, I had a conversation with another friend of mine, and me and him came to the conclusion that anytime you add the bug typing to something, for some reason it just does magic. The bug typing has so many resistances, but it's just not a good defensive nature because of fire. So basically, because of that, fairies are weak to they're weak to poison and steel. So it keeps the poison and steel weakness. It gains the fire, flying, and rock weakness. But because of the bug typing, it now grabs the grass, ground, bug, and dark resistance. With the fairy typing, the only thing it really gains from the fairy typing is the dragon immunity. But it gets the 4 times because both fairy and bug are both resist fighting. So it gets that 4 times resistance to fighting, and it gets a good amount of neutrals. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weaknesses, just like sorry, just like the fighting ice combination. But these weaknesses are less common. Rock is common. Steel is just becoming more common. Poison is the most common way to take out a fairy right now. And fire is super common. But given whatever Pokemon carries this, the stats are good enough. This right here could be this isn't a bad typing. It's not a bad typing at all. So I'm kind of interested to see what it does in the new game. I'm glad that they brought it. This one here is gonna be a little bit of a spoiler. It's a fighting ghost typing. I know people have been wishing for this forever. There's a new Pokemon named Marshadow. Marshadow is a fighting ghost type. That's its big secret. Marshadow's big secret is that it's a fighting ghost type. This typing is pretty broken. You got that 4 times resistant to bug, that resistance to rock, the resistance to poison. You have 2 immunities which are normal in fighting because of the ghost typing. You have a list of resistances and 4 weaknesses. You have basically the flying and psychic from the fighting type. You have flying is just from the fighting type. No, flying and fairy is from the fighting type. And you have the psychic and ghost from the ghost type. And so basically, it pretty much came straight down the middle on the weaknesses, the most common weaknesses that you would think of. But it has a really good amount of resistances and a really good amount of neutrality going to it. This typing is a typing I really didn't think was coming so soon, but I'm with it. I'm definitely with it. Like I said, there's 15 new typings, so that's definitely something interesting to think about. Um, this next typing is one that I was shocked to see. This typing is actually one of the typing of the new Ultra Beast. I believe it's O1's typing. I thought it'd be a water type, but it's actually a rock poison type. Rock poison is this typing is definitely made for walling. Definitely made for walling, and you can see it in the spread. It has five neutrals. Five resistances. It has a total of four weaknesses, one 4 times weakness. But given the stats, and I've heard a lot of these Ultra Beasts have very high stats from what I've looked at. The 4 times weakness can be avoided easily with having a flying type, or just taking one hit and dishing something back. The water weakness I'm not too worried about. Psychic is always powerful, and the steel type is always very powerful. It has the 1, 2, 3, 4. Has 8 neutral hits. See, neutrals and resistances are really what we're looking for, and then it has that 4 times that 4 times resistance to poison. I think that's going to be the deciding factor. The 4 times resistance to poison is definitely going to make this a very good wall to take out to protect your fairy types in your team. The fairy types in your team are definitely protected with this typing around. We're going to go to the next one. This next one is one I didn't expect. I looked at it, and I double took. Because I couldn't believe that somebody actually thought to combine these two things. Steel and grass. This could be one of the most powerful typings I've ever seen. It has 1 4 times weakness to fire, which Ferrothorn has. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. You know what? I'm stupid. There is already a grass and steel type. It's Ferrothorn. So I'm just going to talk about this one anyway. I'm just going to put a big done next to it on my checklist since I'm already talking about it. This was an accident. Well, whatever. So this typing is actually really nice. I've never actually looked at Ferrothorn's typing and seen, but it's actually not bad at all. It's that 4 times resistance to grass. He resists normal. He resists water, electric. He resists a lot. This is why Ferrothorn's such a good Pokemon. And then he has that immunity to poison, with really just a 2 times weakness to grass that we all know Ferrothorn can just. To fighting that we all know Ferrothorn can just eat up. So fire is really his only weakness. I'm gonna go ahead and skip past this one now since I kind of made that L there, but whatever. This next one is a Dragon Dark type. This is also an Ultra Beast typing. I think with the Ultra Beast they just wanted to try to combine some weird things. This one could have been a bust, I want to say. I think it just has too many weaknesses for me. It has a lot of resistances. It has that one immunity, but Fairy is such a common thing, especially when dealing with a dragon. This thing will get beat-bopped unless it has the stats to withstand a Fairy type attack. It gets that ice. I told you Crabala's evolution is out here to hand every dragon their hand. It's just giving out the hands to every dragon right now. It has that fighting weakness, that bug type weakness, and that dragon weakness. So it has 5 weaknesses and one very prominent weakness. This isn't the greatest typing, but it had to happen. All the typings have to happen eventually. I'm kind of interested to see when they're going to introduce a new typing, because I know we just got a new typing with the last generation, but they've already started doing a lot with Fairy. I don't see they pretty much have laid Fairy on a lot of typings. I'm kind of interested to see what they do. Let's go down here and see what the next new typing is. This next one is Poison Fire. We all know who it is. My man Salandit. So Salandit's typing is an interesting typing. He has that 4 times weakness to ground. Salandit is very frail, so obviously ground type attack is going to put him all the way in the dirt. He has the weakness to rock, a weakness to he has a weakness to water and a weakness to psychic because of it. Listen, he also has a 4 times resistance to fairy. He's definitely a fairy killer. So we have our dragon killer and we have our fairy killer. This is Salandit is the answer to all fairies right here. This thing was meant to take out fairies. It resists fairies. It can bomb a bug too. Like it's done work. And the resistances are nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 resistances. So it's gonna be one of the highest resistance counts I've seen. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 neutralities. So this typing is actually a really good typing. Blue and white, when I first saw it, I'm still mind blown that it actually exists. But you know, it had to happen. It had to happen. This next typing is yet another dragon typing. This dragon typing caught everybody by surprise. This is the dragon normal typing. Now this typing looks like it was just made for tanking. This is definitely made for tanking. Anytime you add the normal typing to something, you want it to be a wall. It resists everything. It is neutral to everything. It literally has. It can't be hit by ghost types. And then you have your four weaknesses, but I'm pretty sure that Cloud Dragon is defensive, so none of this really matters. I can see this thing being the opposite of Gudra, being that physically defensive Gudra opposed to the specially defensive Gudra that we have now. So we're gonna go ahead with this one. This was a great typing. I'm kind of happy that he introduced it to the game. It's really not so much to say about it. We know this is going to cause a problem. It's going to definitely cause a problem. The next one is the dragon fighting typing, which I can honestly say is not one of the best typings. You got that 4 times weak to fairy. You got that dragon weakness, the psychic weakness, flying, and ice weakness. It has a lot of resistances. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 resistances. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 neutralities, and 5 weaknesses. So I guess it's pretty split even when it comes to, you know, being a pretty good or bad typing. It's not a good typing, but it's also not a bad typing either. I guess it comes down to how fast this thing is going to be and how strong it's going to be. The fighting typing is a crazy physical typing, so we know. So is the dragon. I think dragons have one of the highest physical attacks in the entire game. So with that being said, these two together are definitely going to be something to be reckoned with. I can see if it's slow, it's definitely going to take a choice scarf. A choice band, one of these, I don't think it's going to be very nice. I don't know exactly what, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, all that good stuff. But this is going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. This next one is going to be the fairy. Is it fairy? Fairy psychic typing. Fairy psychic typing is one of the tapus. This is going to be one of the strongest typings I've ever seen. Fairy and psychic together are a problem. The dragon immunity, was it? It's now neutral to dark, opposed to being weak to dark. What's going on with Ghost? It still has its weakness to Ghost. It picks up the weakness to poison and steel, but that neutral to dark is going to be real. That means Dark Pulse is no longer a threat towards it. You can live a Shadow Ball. Dark Pulse is definitely the threat. It has the neutrality is crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 neutralities. 2 resistances. 1 4 times resistant, 1 single resistant, 1 immunity. This is actually ridiculous because people sleep on neutrality, but neutral attacks, they can really matter when you're dealing with a defensive Pokemon, because a neutral attack is not resisted, so of course, but it's not going to give you the KO. It's definitely not going to give you that super effective KO. And this definitely avoids super effective KOs. This typing is going to avoid a lot of them. And it's definitely going to be a pseudo legendary, I believe it is, or a tapu, or whatever a tapu is going to be. So this is definitely going to be a problem. This next typing is going to be a dark normal type. I can't remember who has it. But the dark normal typing is actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be either. The 4 times weakness to fighting can be easily dodged with a good fairy type on your team. And of course we have fairy and flying, I think now. We have fairy bug. Fairy bug is a good shield for this. So if you carry a fairy bug next to a dark fighting, you can definitely do some switching shenanigans. And again, crazy neutrality. We have 2 immunities, so this is definitely going to protect that psychic and fairy typing. These 2 typings actually dance well together. We have that 1 neutrality. We have that 1 resistance. We have 1 resistance and 3 total weaknesses. We have weakness to bug from that dark typing. We have a weakness to psychic to fairy from that dark typing. I mean, bug and both are from the dark. So it really only picked just the double fighting from the normal. As of course, normal has one weakness, so that's all it brings to the table when you add in normal. I mean, you add something with one weakness, and it's just gonna be a problem. On to this next one. Next one is going to be Ice Steel. This is the worst typing I've ever seen, but I'm still going to review it anyway. This typing is terrible. Reason being, it's weak to two of the most common things ever. It's weak to fire. So, this is given to a very heavily defensive Pokemon, but I think even with the defenses, the fighting attack is going to tear it apart. It has a good amount of neutrals, a good amount of resistances. That 4 times, the double 4 times is bad. Anytime you 4 times is bad. You can dance around 4 times. When you have 4 times, at that point, even a non-stab can catch you slipping, depending on non-stab fighting or non-stab fighting. And both non-stab fire or non-stab fighting, both of them will hit you hard. You can kind of get around the ground weakness, but it's gonna be very hard to dodge that fighting and that fire weakness. It really is. It's definitely gonna take some things out. You can probably have it dance around a little bit and shield some stuff, but I don't see this typing making it out of one of the lower tiers. It's not making it nowhere near NU or RU. I don't see that happening unless there's some kind of weird utility with it or something. This next one is Ice Fairy. What is Ice Fairy? I don't know what Ice Fairy is. There's definitely an Ice Fairy typing. I don't know which one of the Pokemon have the Ice Fairy typing. I can't think. Oh, Ice Fairy is Ninetales. Ninetales carries the Ice Fairy typing now in the Alola region. This is actually not a bad typing. Yes, it is worse than the Pure Fire typing. The Pure Fire typing only carries 3 weaknesses: Ground, Rock, and Water. Now it's carrying 4 weaknesses, including 4 times weakness to Steel. The benefit to this though is way more coverage. So the fire typing gives you coverage of fire attacks and with stab, and then whatever Ninetales gets, which is Solar Beam and all of that, which I think he still will be getting Solar Beam with his ice typing. So that's going to help out. That's going to definitely help out. But now with the ice typing, he has Ice Beam, Blizzard. He has access to Moonblast. He has access to Dazzling Gleam. He's going to be doing a lot. I mean, a lot of people already use Ninetales with Dazzling Gleam, so now we can get that stab off that Dazzling Gleam. He's also not a slow Pokemon either, so we're looking real good with this Ninetales thing. He picked up that poison type weakness and the rock and fire type weakness, which is kind of ironic that he's weak to fire now, but you know how that goes. So basically, I'm kind of interested to see how Alola Ninetales fares. Regular Ninetales is not in the highest tiers, but it definitely is something to be reckoned with in some of the tiers, and it's done a fair share of dancing around the tiers because you really don't know where to put it. It works very well in a lot of tiers. It can even make its way in OU if really needed to. So I was interested to see that typing flip over. This last one right here is the Rock Electric. Did I do Rock Electric? Is there another Rock Electric up there? I think I did Rock Electric. I did Electric Bug. I did Steel Electric. I did Rock Poison. I know I'm going through my list right now to see. Maybe I didn't do Rock Electric. Okay, I didn't do Rock Electric. So let's do that. Let's get that rock typing. Where is it? I'm blind. Rock. Electrical. All right, cool. So yeah, we haven't done this before because I don't remember looking at this. Mad neutrality. The electricity typing is rock and electricity are two really good typings by themselves. I definitely didn't expect the two of them be combined because of their 4 times weakness to ground, but it picked up the water weakness, which I really want to argue with these water and grass weakness because it should be a neutral. It shouldn't be a weakness. Because electricity resists water and grass. So with that rock typing, it should be a neutrality situation. But I think they just didn't want the typing to be too amazing because I've looked at a lot of these typings and very few of them have less than four weaknesses. I think they tried to keep that trend going. but they really dropped the ball. This typing could have been way more defensive, but they decided, we're going to give it that water and grass weakness. Whatever, we'll take it. It has a 4 times weakness to ground, which is going to be kind of rough when it comes up. It's going to be kind of rough. Also, we have their fighting weakness, which comes from the rock type, the grass weakness, which comes from the rock type, and the water weakness, which comes from the rock type. So the rock typing pretty much carried the weakness pool for this combination here. Their ground weakness, I believe electricity is only weak to ground, so that's why it only has 1 weakness. It has a 4 times resistance towards flying, which can become in very handy, especially with the sheer number of brave birds that we're going to see. There are a lot of flying types in this generation and a lot of brave birds. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 resistances. So that's normal, fire, electric, and poison, which are not bad things to be resistant to. Fire is common, electricity is common, poison, like I said, is becoming more common with the introduction of fairies. So that helps. All these neutrality hits are great too. We have a fairy neutrality, a steel neutrality, so you can definitely make things happen with this typing. It's not a terrible typing. So with that being said, make sure you leave your comments at the bottom. Let me know how you feel about some of these typings, which typings you think are going to be the best, or which ones you think are actually going to be more helpful, or you're going to probably carry on your team to try to help shield each other. Because like me, I'm a competitive player, so I kind of think about what goes hand in hand with each other. What can I use to shield another Pokemon? You know what I mean? So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Dark Trainer Gas. You go ahead, and I'm going to get up out of here. You have a nice day.